Hey there. I am so excited to catch up with you, share with you how I'm doing, my progress, how life is going, and this is not a one-sided conversation. Let me tap on that. This is not a one-sided conversation. I want to hear about your life, your world, connect with you. That is why I started the Rebuild community. I wanted to connect others, learn from each other, have healing conversations, and connect with each other. That's what this community is all about. So let me know your thoughts, your reactions, your answers to questions as we go throughout this video. So the last time we connected with each other, I shared my diagnosis and how I've been making life changes to protect my health and protect longevity of life, right? That's always the goal. We can't control the controllables, but we can control our choices. And so I have given up coffee, you guys. I have been trying hibiscus tea and black teas, and I'm getting rid of plastics in the house, and I have changed my diet to anti-inflammatory diet, and that has really given me a little bit of peace of mind through all of these lifestyle changes that I'm making and all this new health diagnosis. It's really helped me to feel good, feel energized, feel ready to take on treatment. That will be upcoming later this year. So thank you again for keeping me in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you for connecting with me, sending me well wishes. I appreciate it. I am losing weight. I am down 15 whole pounds. And it's only been since May that I started walking daily and making all of these changes and really also taking time to rest. Rest has been a tough one for me though, ladies and gents. I have to say, I am a busybody and I am someone that I will fight rest when I try to force myself to have rest. And that's the thing about our health is that when we overfunction, if you're in survival mode, rest is something that your body absolutely needs to function and to be at its peak and to be able to show up the way that you want to show up. And so I had to slow down, especially this past weekend. I slowed way down, you guys. I did a whole day in bed, which I never do. And I opened up the windows and I had natural light and I turned on some shows to binge watch on Netflix. I've been watching Outlast, which is kind of like a survivor style show, like people out in the wilderness competing against each other. I have been watching, I think it's called The Stag, which is like a mindset competition and the prize for both shows is $1 million. So I've been watching those. Alan is doing well, Cadence is doing well. We've been adjusting to life now that I have had a reoccurrence. And so they've been supporting me, taking care of me, and allowing me to rest. On the second day of my weekend, I went to Grand Haven, Michigan. I am from Michigan, and I got to go to Grand Haven and see the lighthouse and lay on the sand and look at the marina and watch the boats go by. And so it was just blissful, purely blissful, and a well needed, much needed break and a reminder to myself that sometimes healing is slowing down, being quiet, and sitting still with yourself. And so, yeah, the ocean, the water is my happy place. I want to hear from you. What is your happy place? Is it the water? Is it a park? Is there a special spot that you like to go to and journal or pray or just sit quietly? Let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear that. So lately I have been really focused on controlling my thoughts. It has been a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, and you let me know if you've had the goal of controlling your thoughts. It is very easy to ask yourself, why me, when you are dealing with health changes, life changes, and trauma. It is very easy to get stuck in negative thinking or thought patterns. And the more you reinforce in your brain, the more your brain will search for those items. So if you are constantly looking for the crisis, the most extreme data. It's just like an algorithm. It's a built-in natural algorithm. If you look for the extreme or the negativity, that is what your brain is going to wire itself to. If you look for the positive, that is what your brain is going to wire itself to. So I have been trying to find that healthy balance of authentically healing, feeling my emotions, crying if I need to cry, resting if I need to rest, and also taking time for myself to have moments of joy and gratitude and finding that healthy balance for me. I've had some very deep conversations with family and friends about mortality and about the uncertainty of life, and I had already been what I felt like was well versed in the unexpected, being COVID widowed in 2021 and then diagnosed with stage 1 grade 2 inductal carcinoma in 2023, breast cancer. So I thought life was, done throwing me curveballs, but there's always something around the corner, I guess. And I like to trust in God. I am a Christian, as you guys know. So whatever your God is that you serve, I respect that. I have friends of many faiths and many religions. But yeah, just trusting that God has my back, that everything is working out for my highest good, and that good things are attracted to me. And so those are the types of affirmations and things I say to myself, as well as things like controlling what I watch, listening to the lyrics, being very intentional with what I allow into my space, into my energy, and into my mind. So that has really been my update and my focus lately, is that I want to continue to keep my sun shining bright, I guess you could say. I found a new YouTuber who I am somewhat obsessed with. Her name is Florence Givens. She is a bright light. She has audacity. She curses. I mean, you name it. She's just super fun to watch. And she said something that really inspired me this week. She said, "The magic is in you." And it just made me remind myself, like, my joy, my happiness is a choice. And it's something that I carry within myself. As a Christian, we say, let your light shine bright, right? And so I want to do just that. I want my light to shine bright. I want to continue to be a positive force for others and for myself and for my family. And so that is what I'm focused on doing, is continuing to let my light shine, reminding myself that the magic is in me. It hasn't left me just because I'm facing hardship or facing a new diagnosis. I have many things to still be grateful for. And so, yeah, that is the light I choose to carry. That is the energy I choose to carry. And so I'm pressing forward. It is summertime here in Michigan. It is a heat wave this week. We never see 99-degree temperatures. That is very rare here that we ever see that. And so I'm excited to be inside and air conditioning and finding ways to connect with my family, either through board games or cooking together and that kind of thing. So let's think about what's ahead, right? Summer is here, as I said, and I want to think about where this content is headed. I don't usually do vlogs and a lot of life updates for myself. I like the focus to be on you guys, my rebuilders. But I mean, life is lifing, let's be honest. Your girl, life coach Gabby, is going through. And so it just is natural that I would want to share this journey with you all and share the struggles, and hope that you find some affirmation, some confirmation. That's the word I was looking for, confirmation, and feel seen and heard. For those of you that are fighting cancer, breast cancer survivors, have loved ones that have fought, and you've supported them in their fight. That's just where my life is right now. So that's the focus, is continuing to have these healing conversations, continuing to stay in that positive space. I will be looking at treatment, and so I'll be sharing, some of those updates about treatment. And then, of course, we're going to continue to talk about the real world, what's going on, survival mode. I mean, the list goes on. Grief, trauma, cancer. Those are the ways that we rebuild and heal and focus, right? So that is what we are going to be talking about. I do want to touch on something that is more recent and more local. Recently, unfortunately, there has been some teenager deaths in my state, and there's been a lot of conversations about why they happened, why they didn't happen, are the parents to blame, did the child sneak out, that kind of thing. And it just re-brought up kind of the layers of grief. It re-brought up the judgments that can come even with inside a grief conversation. And so I wanted to just take a moment and get your thoughts on it. Have you encountered judgment while grieving? I want to know. I want to hear your experiences. When I was COVID widowed in 2021, I definitely had what I would call widow expectations placed on me. I was kind of expected to be a living, breathing memoriam for the first year. It was very, very hard on me emotionally, and while also trying to support my daughter, rebuild my life, rebuild my identity. So it was a big, big challenge. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. All losses are different. There's no less loss that is like one another. So I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your stories. So share them with me in the comments and let me know your thoughts. But it is a tragedy. It is a tragedy, but I think it also points to a lesson. And for me, that lesson is community. Communities are important. I have a community that you're all a part of, the Rebuild community. It's completely free to join. If you haven't already joined or subscribed, feel free to connect with me that way. Link is in the bio. But I will say community is so important from a mental health perspective, from a healing perspective, whether that community be in person or online. Having others to communicate with, to vent to bounce ideas off of is so, so important to our social emotional health. That is a layer of what we need in order to be healthy. It is not healthy to always be alone and to not have anybody to reach out to. And sometimes we do have seasons of seclusion. I understand that, but I want to say it really points to me to that lesson of community. How can us as a community come together, protect our youth, support one another, and creating safe spaces for these teens? And I know there's been a lot of media out there in regards to teenagers taking over whole cities at night and really rebelling against the idea that they should just be inside all day on electronics. And I respect their right to protest, but we want to keep our kiddos safe. We want to provide opportunities for them to connect with each other safely in spaces where they don't have to feel like there's going to be a threat to their life, of course. So, yeah, community is the key. Community is the answer. And it makes me grateful that I have a community, whether it be online or in person. And right now, my in-person community is grieving. They're hurting right now. And so my heart goes out to them. Thoughts and prayers go out to them. And it's just a reminder to me that, again, that mortality conversation, life is not promised. We're not promised tomorrow, and we don't know when our time is up. And so we have to support one another and have empathy and really, really withhold any judgments or negativity regarding grief, regarding others grieving and mourning the loss of their child or any other type of loss. I definitely have been rocked by this this community change for sure, and it touches a sensitive place for me, as you all know. So one thing that I will be doing is releasing. So for me, one of the things I like to do when energy is heavy, when I am feeling sad, and I wouldn't say quite depression, but just a lot of heavy feelings and emotions, I like to do cleanses. I like to bless my home, clean my home out. I like to use holy water. I like to use incense, protective herbs. I like to do crosses and on every window, every door, every mirror. I like to pray over my house, outside, inside, and just speak to my angels and to God and ask for full protection. And so, I want to hear, what do you do when you are feeling heavy, when you are feeling like you need to clear a space or clear negative energy or thoughts out of your your space. Let me know in the comments. I want to hear all about it. But yeah, that's how I'm going to be spending the rest of my evening today. Is I'm going to be blessing my home, saying beautiful prayers over my family and friends, and really just clearing out the sadness, whether it be sadness energy from what I'm dealing with, or just life's heaviness or grief, anything unresolved. I'm going to be praying for my community, praying for my home, and pressing forward with love. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for spending some time with me as I was giving you a vlog life update, something I rarely do. I look forward to our continued healing conversations in the Rebuild community, and I look forward to connecting with you and sharing my journey of healing along the way. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye.